Internship. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Reviews in the Morning, where I, Low-Rez Moon, shall be reviewing films I watched last night and reviewing them the following morning. And today we shall be reviewing The Internship, directed by Shawn Levy and screenplayed by Vaughn. The film follows our two protagonists, Nick and Bill, who are fired from their business of selling watches after watches simply become obsolete in this modern day. Which actually made me stop and look around, and I realized it's true. There's not very many people wearing them anymore. And not only does that affect their pockets, but it also affects their pride, in the way that suddenly they realize they're in the modern era and a majority of what they sold, or how they sold, suddenly becomes obsolete. At that point then, Billy and Nick go their separate ways. Nick finds a job at a mattress store, and then Billy keeps on desperately trying to find any opportunity he can via the internet. And that is when he realizes that the opportunity might have been laying in front of him all along. What do I mean by that? Google, of course. Not the search engine, but the company. The only downside to this is that unfortunately, it's not a job, but an internship in order to get a job. And just for these job positions, they're not going against any other small team of people. No, they're going against hundreds of other interns. It's like if two old World War II battleships would suddenly join the Navy again just cause. Oh wait, they already did a movie about that. So this might work. Yes! And that also goes for the movie too. It works. One of the main things that makes this film work so well is the diversity of characters within the plot. Such characters include Billy, who is played by Vaughn, who is indeed the main character, who struggles with so many inadequacies in his life. Such inadequacies such as dreaming the big dream but not doing anything about it, or simply screwing up here and there, are actually pointed out to us in the very beginning by Billy's girlfriend Megan, who is played by Joanna Garcia Swisher. Now in this film she does a very, very minor part, so I'm not going to talk much about her, but what I can tell her is that her character is the stepping stone for us, the audience, to understand Billy better. And the other protagonist, Nick, is played by no other than Owen Wilson, who does a great job as a supporting character for Billy. And throughout his whole stay as intern at Google, not only is he trying to get a job, but he is also trying to get to know a bit more about the already employed at Google, Donna, played by Rose Byrne. And other characters to note are Billy and Nick's pain-in-the-butt rival, played by Max Winghella, and also Billy and Nick's ex-boss, played by John Goodman. And there are so many more characters to this film that I really wouldn't be able to give them all justice in just a few seconds in this video. So I'll leave you to that little exploration. Now, despite the fact that this film is directed by a very versatile director, Shawn Levy, who directed Real Steel and The Night at the Museum, and the fact that it was written very well, by the way, by Vaughn himself, this film is still nothing new. Now don't get me wrong, many times they are funny, and many times they also do nail the pop culture references very well. And in the end, it ends up becoming a battle of ages. What do I mean by that? I mean that the two obviously older protagonists find themselves alienated in this era of modernity. I'm not sure if that's a word, but I just made it up. And they obviously struggle with it compared to the other interns which were actually raised in this era. Which actually brings me onto my final thought of the film. It was funny, it was a good comedy, and it had really good character development, but its theme of old versus new is in no way original or innovative. Which makes me say that it's worth watching, but maybe just not on the big screen. And as such, my final verdict of this film is a 3 out of 5 stars. Average film. Well, that is it for today's Reviews in the Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more movie reviews coming your way. And stay tuned for next time where I shall be reviewing Man of Steel. See you guys.